Good evening. It is Wednesday, October 1st, 2025, and coming to you from Lonely Tree Media headquarters in Tacoma, Washington, this is the Best Lamb Sports Show. I'm your host, David Lamb. With me is my son, Parker. Say hello, Parker.
Hello, Parker. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hi.
That's a good one. Good
I
reaction.
think they like me.
I think you're in. I think, well, I don't have anybody else, so. I don't have a plan B, so I guess that you're it. So regardless of whether they like you or not. So whether you're in Chicago and you've got federal troops rappelling into your city from a Black Hawk helicopter, or you're in Portland and you've got federal troops coming in to quell the violence, welcome.
The nightmare.
Right?
That is Portland.
The nightmare that is Portland. Have you seen all the videos? Like people like in Portland, like there was one dude and he went to like 6 different intersections in the worst parts of town. And he goes, nothing. That was
There's
the end of his
one guy.
nothing.
He posted a video and he was like, you would not believe the state of this city. Take a look. And he pans across the street. He's like, there is a line for matcha. Like, oh my God. Like, send everyone, get them in here. We got to put a stop to this ASAP.
Yeah, there was
and it was on 3rd Street. It's like downtown. It's like, okay.
There was a comedian.
Yeah, whatever crisis is happening is just at one place.
There was what's at the ICE detention center? But I mean,
yeah.
There was a comedian and he said the same thing. He goes, I'm glad they sent the troops into Portland. He goes, you ever been to Portland? He goes, it's a mess. He goes, I went to Portland. He goes, and then I opened one of those little free libraries. He goes, and nothing was in alphabetical order. I couldn't find a damn thing. And
that's a problem.
I started laughing. I'm like, yeah. Because then I went to the farmer's market. They were understaffed. He goes, there was a line a mile long to get a cinnamon roll.
It's a real problem.
So yeah, I feel like that's federal troops right there. I don't know. I'm a federal government worker, so I can't say a whole lot. But
you gotta watch what you say.
However, we have a shutdown, right? The federal government has been shut down, except for your mom and I, both who are federal government workers. We actually work for agencies that make their own money.
Right.
So they're part of the working capital fund. And there's money. We have to go to work. 99% of the people that work for my agency have to go to work, regardless of whether it shuts down, because we're still going to get paid. We're still going to make money. So
it's funny, all the government shutdown talks, and I'm like, oh yeah, all the government employees I know are still working.
Mm-hmm.
So
most of them will. There's very few that are going to get.
No, but it's just the ones in places you need. Like, without any offense to like your mom's job, but like if you needed to contact the VA, they're not going to be there.
Oh, the VA. I went to the VA appointment today.
God damn it! Will you quit this?
I went to a VA.
Run that shit by me off the air.
I called them beforehand because I was worried they weren't going to be there, just like that, and they were there.
So who's actually not working?
I don't know. So here's the thing: if you're a non-exempt employee, you probably got furloughed, laid off.
What does that? Can you like layman's terms that? What does that mean? What person is that? Is that an assistant? To an assistant? Like,
it
what,
could
like,
be.
who is that?
It could be lots of positions. I can't give you a specific.
If it's not some admin person at the VA, then I don't know who's not working.
No, I can't give you a specific position. Like it's a chauffeur or something. I can't give you a job title. What I can tell you is there are non-exempt positions, right? Exempt means no matter what happens, you're going to work, right? I mean, you're gonna be there regardless. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get paid. There's two different things there. So you can be exempt and have to go to work, and we'll pay you all of the back pay once this gets resolved.
Right.
Or
so according to this, it says there's only 23% of the federal workers who are going to be furloughed.
Correct. 23%. That's a lot, though.
Yeah,
that's a big chunk.
That's 1 in 4 people.
So you're
not that many.
Your contract employees that are not federal but contracted to be federal are probably shut down.
Yeah.
unless they're in a national security position, which then becomes that's technically what I am, what your mom is. So once you're in a national security position of national security, you don't ever see the the free days off. No, that's not going to happen.
So according to this, it's 92%, 92.9% of the EEOC. Do you know what that is?
EEOC. I don't know what they're trying to say.
Equal Opportunity Commission.
Mm,
They're affected. 92.9%
yeah.
of NASA, 90.8% of the SEC, 90% of the NRC, 88% of the EPA, 88% of the FCC.
Okay.
But when you get to the bottom side of it, VA 4.2%, Treasury 2.2, DHS 11.3, SSA 13.8, DOJ 15.1. So
Yeah.
all the main infrastructure things are not really impacted.
Correct.
But up at the top, it's
And
all of the NASA. They're hurting NASA.
I mean, well, what were we doing anyway?
Elon's doing it all on the side. He's getting farther than our
He's-
NASA team has gotten in years.
I mean, he's blowing up more things than anyway. Yeah, I mean, your mom has a job that is exempt, and they work from a working capital fund. They make their own money. Other agencies pay them to do what they do.
Right. Yeah,
But-
that's what you said a few minutes ago about all those things.
But if the other agencies aren't open, they will not continue to receive money from them.
They'll run out eventually. Yeah.
Eventually. But I mean, who knows how long this will take? But I don't know.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be over soon. Baseball playoffs started. We're in game 2 already. Started yesterday. Was that right? I think yesterday was game 1, right?
Yeah, yesterday I watched Cubs, Padres, and Detroit, Cleveland.
Yeah. So today the Guardians beat the Tigers 6-1 in Cleveland, even the series 1-1. Padres beat the Cubs 3-0, even the series 1-1. Yankees beat the Red Sox, just went final 4-3. That series 1-1. And then you have Reds Dodgers, and the Dodgers won game 1. They're about to start game 2 here shortly, if they haven't already. So hell, all 4 series could be 1-1 here in a minute. But my Mets, had 42 wins. I'm so angry. 42 wins after they were 42 and 24 or 23, something like that, right?
Mhm.
And then they went 30. They went 35 or 40 and 50 something, or I don't know. It was so bad. They were like the worst record in baseball since June. And they missed the playoffs. And all you had to do was win 84 games. 84 games. It's not. That's 3? Technically 3 games above 500. Nah, couldn't do that. Couldn't do that. Not with that payroll. Not with that amount of money. We hired. We got Soto to come.
There was probably just a handful of games that they dropped here and there that just they add up.
They were so bad for a while. It was they were leading Major League Baseball, the best record in baseball. They went to a series to play the Rays, and I think it was at home even. They played the Tampa Bay Rays at home, lost all 3, and after that, worst record in baseball. I don't even understand. So
It happens.
it happens. But that's tradition for the Mets. They find a way to screw it up. Anyway, so there's
Don't
that.
the Mets have a title?
Well, they have 2.
Okay, so the Mets have got titles.
2 titles, yeah. But the last one was 86. So
yeah,
we're talking.
that's fine. But at least at some point, the team did get it together enough to win one, and it was in your lifetime. There are people that are going to be born and die never watching their team win a title.
It's true,
Like,
but not many.
That's unfortunate. If you're a Browns fan, right?
Well, I mean, yeah.
A Detroit fan, a Buffalo fan.
Well, if you're talking about football, that's a different thing. But I mean,
know,
baseball.
Those are the first ones that popped to my mind. So, how many different title winners have there been in baseball over the last 40 years?
Okay, great.
Oh,
That's great. That's a great question, and we're about to answer that.
I'm gonna get there first.
Are
Typing
you?
it in.
You might
Probably.
because you typed faster than I did.
There's been 16 in the last 40 years.
Oh, is that how you did that?
I just typed in how many different MLB World Series winners in the last 40 years.
Are you relying on AI?
Yeah, but it's giving me the count.
But
Red
maybe
Sox,
it's right.
Yankees 5, Toronto 2, Minnesota 2, Braves 2, Diamondbacks 1, Giants 3. Yeah, it's It looks pretty comprehensive. Cubs won.
So
Astros
half the league has won one in the
in the
last
last 40 years.
40 years. Well, and that's to be fair, because some of these teams, the Giants. I'm looking at the history. I'm looking at the year by year. Giants, the Dodgers, the Yankees. Those teams win multiple over the course of that 40 years, right? So
Wait,
what?
the way it listed this is weird. So I changed it to 60, and it said there's been 24 winners over the last 60 years.
60 years since what? That's 1960. What?
1965.
Yeah.
Yeah, through 2024. And then I changed it to 80, and it said there's been 44 different Major League Baseball winners.
I don't.
And I think that's because
different teams.
It's because they're starting to count teams like differently, like
well,
going back that far. But
they're
somebody who's lived a 70-year life. Let's see how many years.
Well, so part of that is, let's just back up. Part of that is New York Giants that became the San Francisco Giants. Are they two different teams or the same team?
Yeah, I don't know how.
Brooklyn Dodgers, San Francisco, or LA
again,
Dodgers.
Again, that's the AI overview
right,
there. But still, more specifically, in the last 60 years, there's been 24. So again, you could have lived an entire life and not seen your team win it, because I guarantee you the Yankees are 15 of those. So
it's true. That's probably true. I don't know. I feel like.
But you've seen two.
I've seen. Well, I was 1 year old when they won the first one.
That counts.
I didn't see it, but I mean,
yes, you've seen one. It happened
during my lifetime. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I was.
I don't really remember the Broncos winning titles, but like I do remember them. I remember some of the games. I remember all the hubbub, but I don't really remember them very well.
Gotcha.
The 90s ones, that is.
So yeah, the Yankees won. Well, the Yankees used to be the thing, right? 98, 99, 2000. They won all three of those. 2009. Those are all Yankees. So,
yeah,
you're going to run into that. You're going to run into in the American League, it's not that many. The Red Sox, 3 or 4, right? The Astros won a couple.
The Rangers have 3 or 4 in the last 20 years.
Yeah, I
think they have 3.
When I was growing up, I never thought the Rangers would win anything. But yeah, they did. I mean, that's fair. The Cincinnati Reds.
The Indians have 3 recently.
Who?
The Indians. Yeah, they've got
the Guardians
since the mid '90s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, they've got 3. They've got 3 since the 1995.
Yeah, I mean, Braves, Phillies. They've got, Cardinals. The Cardinals used to be a big deal, right? So they won a couple, 3 or 4.
Gosh, just look how competitive baseball was from 1950 to 1965. Yankees, 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 Yankees.
Don't watch that.
Yankees, Yankees.
Don't
White Sox, hey,
right?
Yankees, Yankees.
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Yeah. Well,
how boring
it was
sports for a long time.
It was Yankees or Dodgers, right? From like 47 through 65 or something. That was like 19 years that it was just one of those two teams. And then all of a sudden the Oakland A's and Cincinnati Reds became a big deal. And then I went back to Yankees, Dodgers. Anyway, yeah, it's cyclical. So,
wait, the way it's listed here is so weird. Yeah, Yankees, Dodgers, man, boring.
Yeah,
boring. It's boring for baseball.
It's great for TV ratings because 2 largest markets, right? But it's bad for anybody who's not a Yankees or Dodgers fan.
Well, the problem, I think the kind of like the quirk. So let's say like you say you were born in like 2010, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're 15 years old now.
Yep.
You're about at that time you're going to start playing baseball. Maybe you've already developed some allegiances that are based off of your family, or maybe you're developing your own. But the Yankees, they're going to be developing less and less and less and less.
You would think.
Year. But just like Notre Dame hasn't really done in the last however many years.
You can say it. We're not on broadcast TV.
That's true. But just because they haven't done anything in the last however many years, they still get put on TV because the guy running programming is 65 and remembers the glory days.
Well, and if you're NBC, the guy running the programming is a Notre Dame alum, and he's going to keep Notre Dame on TV. But the Yankees are just a gigantic. They're a win for a broadcast. If you couldn't ask for a better World Series if you're a broadcast network than Dodgers Yankees. That you just couldn't. Maybe Chicago and the Yankees, okay. Maybe Houston, because Houston's a big city, but I don't think it's not as rooted. Houston's not as rooted in baseball because they didn't start until the '60s playing baseball there. But the Dodgers have been around since the dawn of baseball. So
Well, yeah, and again, this is stemming right into what I'm saying, which is that these are heritage teams,
yeah, heritage.
but
teams.
that's becoming less and less important to actual people. Like Yankee viewership has been it's great compared to Oakland, right? It's great compared to somebody else. It's great compared to a lot of other teams. However, it's less than it was at one point very recently. It's on its way down.
So the Yankees have been in exactly one World Series since 2010.
Yeah, that sounds right.
That was last year.
And they lost it, yeah.
Yeah. But the Dodgers, on the other hand, right, have been in what, 3, 4. I mean, there's teams in there. Like I said, Houston has been in 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Right. Boston 3 or 4.
It's still all pay to play.
Giants. Yeah. So it's still a handful of teams, and that's what it is. I mean, you're gonna get a handful of teams that are gonna win everything, and for some reason the Mets can't put themselves in that position. That's all I'm saying. I'm just frustrated because they get there. I mean, yeah, they went to the World Series in 2015. They've been to like 5 World Series. They're 2 and 3 or something like that. Anyway, but they just All right, never mind. That's my gripe. It's a team. You know what? I don't like the Dolphins as much. I used to be a Dolphins fan growing up. I don't know why. I really don't. I can't put a finger on why I became a Dolphins fan watching them. But that was Bob Greasy and Larry Zonka and the '70s Dolphins, right? That's when I started watching football, and then it became Dan Marino and others, right? The Marx brothers, Clayton and Duper. But I don't. Now I get to a point where I go, the Dolphins.
Whatever. It's interesting because everyone gets frustrated with their team and their performance, especially when it goes through a long wind of being bad or a long wind. I mean, the Broncos didn't make the playoffs for 8 years.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the hell are we doing here? Like, fire everyone, blah, blah, blah. And you get passionate and then you get exhausted with being passionate.
Right.
And I think that's where you are.
Yeah.
I don't know if that means you don't like the team anymore. You're just kind of over being concerned.
Well, the last championship for the Dolphins is what, 72, 73? I don't know.
Something like
so
that,
it's been 50 years. It's been almost as long as I've been alive. And so
what did I say? Most people can go their whole lives without watching their team win a title.
It becomes rough. It becomes a hard sell.
So who's your backup team going to be then?
Well, I think
you put it on air now. Everyone's going to know.
I think it's the Chargers.
Okay, that's fair.
Which is also going to be one of those teams that doesn't make it.
I would say, what was their last title? Now that I'm thinking about it,
I don't know if they have one. Do they have one?
I don't think they do.
Yeah, I think they're one of those teams that don't have a title.
Oh no, it's 1963 AFL.
That doesn't count.
Yeah. They're still the San Diego Chargers at the time. Yeah. So and they have not won a Super Bowl. Their only appearance was 1994. They haven't played in the Super Bowl.
The Chargers are more a product of Justin Herbert and the fact that I like the colors. Right? I like the logo.
But when Justin Herbert leaves, are you going to follow him to the next team?
I have no idea.
Assuming it's not the Cowboys or the Raiders.
There's certain teams I will never root for. Right? I mean, you have the same way. You got to feel the same way. The Cowboys.
I just said the two main ones.
The Cowboys are one of those teams because my brother was a Cowboys fan. I'm never going to root for the Cowboys. Just period. It doesn't matter how good they are, or even if they even if they started their whole starting lineup was Ducks. I don't care. Not rooting for the Cowboys.
But it would turn from like man, I hate the Cowboys to like Cowboys.
Yeah, right.
It would shift a little bit.
Yeah, it would become indifferent.
Go into positive territory.
No, I would become indifferent to the Cowboys. Not hate them like I do right now.
And more specifically, you'd watch a highlight and go, "Good for him."
Yeah, right. I root for the players, but not the team. Right.
Well, that's what so many people are doing nowadays. Everyone's following players now.
That's true. That's fair.
I mean, Austin's backup team is the Mavericks, but it's not really the Mavericks. It's Luka.
He likes Luka, yeah.
He likes Luka. Yeah. But now that he's on the Lakers,
yeah,
he's like, I'm not doing it. I'm not rooting for the Lakers. And
we need to get him on here for a show one day. I think it'd be fun.
Definitely. Yeah, he's on your time zone, so that'd
Yeah.
be pretty easy.
So also NHL starts on Tuesday, October 7th. That's the opening of the regular season, with a triple header on ESPN. That's Blackhawks Panthers at 2, Penguins Rangers at 5, and Avalanche Kings at 7:30.
Woo!
I know, right? You're gonna get to see a game.
Yeah, I'm very, very, very excited about it. I
Yeah.
ordered my jersey today, my custom jersey. We get like a big discount on them. So I
Sweet.
ordered a white jersey with my name on the back and number 15.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
To go with my Landeskog jersey that I have.
Nice. So yeah, so that's coming up. If you're an NHL fan, and I'm a mediocre NHL fan. I like watching hockey in general. I don't have a team. I don't really care about any of the teams.
The Avs will take you in.
No, whatever.
And then when you come out to visit, we can go to Avs games.
I don't mind going to a game.
relationship.
I've never been to an actual NHL game. So I've been to WHL Portland Winterhawks. I've never been
to those.
Yeah, I've never been to an NHL game. So that would be
They're
great.
fun. I will say, like, when you go from like a college football game to an NFL football game, you feel the difference in quality of like production, quality of feel. The NFL's a little slower because there's more breaks for commercials, but like everything just feels a little more like top notch. The staff that works there feels better. It all just feels a little better. When you go from a WHL game to an NHL game, the stadium's bigger. There are more things to do, but the product in terms of like game and things like that feels very much the same.
Yeah.
Which tells you how good those lower leagues are. Like
they are
putting on a show.
Well, those 17 and 18-year-olds, right, that are about to become NHL players, they're really good. Yeah.
How much do you think they make?
How much does an NHL player average or WHL player make?
Yeah.
Oh, it can't be much. I mean, it's more than I make, but it can't be.
They don't receive a traditional salary.
How do they get paid?
They get a monthly allowance that varies by age.
Oh, Jesus. And then they get like food and whatnot, right? They get like a per diem
room,
and
board,
whatnot.
equipment, schooling is all paid for. So you're not paying for anything, but you're not getting anything per se.
Other than a chance to be an NHL player. And then you get paid.
Oh, they also provide 1 year of post-secondary education for every season played. Oh, so if you play 4 years in the WHL and then you're 19 and you age out of it, your college is paid for.
Oh, that's cool. That's a good idea. Well, I personally think college should be paid for everybody, but that's beside the point.
But this allows you to go to, like, if you're a good WHL player, you can, and you don't think you have NHL prospects, you can go to Denver or DU or Michigan or one of those schools that's got a really good hockey program.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about paying for school.
Arizona State.
And then you can start jumping on NIL stuff. Arizona State.
Arizona State. Weird, right? I find that to be the weirdest place to have a hockey team. Arizona State. But they do. Yeah. All right. Let's talk about college football. Are you ready for that?
I am.
I don't know if you're ready. So the Oregon Ducks went to Penn State, to Happy Valley. First time they've traveled to Penn State. First time they played Penn State in a regular season game. And they didn't play them last year in the regular season. They played them in the championship game, but they didn't.
But like ever, it's the first time they've ever played them in the regular season.
In the regular season, yes, they have played. They played them in the Rose Bowl a couple times.
See, that's what I was like, because I was like, really, in 60 years of college football, you guys have never even met once in the regular season? That's crazy.
No, just in the Rose Bowl. Well, they don't. Cool. Regular season is
they never
scheduled like
non-conference games.
Non-conference game.
I get why it's hard with 130 teams to meet teams from non-conferences, but still, my brain goes, you haven't met once? Oregon's played Ohio State in the regular season when they were not in conference together.
And back in the day when Oregon wasn't very good, you'd think it'd be easy to schedule one of those teams. Just go to Penn State, right?
I mean, they'd want to take you in.
Yeah, absolutely, right? Because Oregon, prior to 88 or 87, somewhere in that ballpark, was terrible. And so you'd think that teams would just want to play them, right? Hey, come out here and play, and come play in. But no, they didn't. Oregon and Penn State have only played in the Rose Bowl until last year, when they played in the conference championship game, and then this year in the whiteout, their edition of the whiteout for 2025. Although they have had multiple editions of the whiteout in prior years, by the way, just FYI. We're about to talk about that. So, playing in the whiteout, right, since 2004, including this game, Penn State is 13-9 at home, right, in these whiteout games.
Sounds
Which,
right.
let's be honest, is not great. I mean, 13-9 as a home field, you got a home field advantage, right? You got this huge whiteout advantage. 13-9 is okay, but it's not a great winning percentage at home. Um, but however, 9 times they played top 10 teams, 17 times against a ranked team. Those 9 games against top 10 teams are 3-6 all time in whiteout games. Yep, 3 of these games went into overtime, including this one. And by the way, 111,015 people. That's the attendance for this Oregon
Which
Penn
I
State
which I
game.
don't understand because their official attendance this year,
Yeah.
like seats,
Yeah.
is 107 something.
Yeah, that's what they say.
How did they get 4,000 more
They're-
people into the stadium
they're-
past the seats?
Their top 15 or 16 games are all over 108,000
Well, but
people.
they used to have seating for 110 and then some change, like some small change, 110 something. But they're doing construction, they're adjusting. It's down to 107.
Yeah.
But they still managed to go over not only the 107 mark, but their old 110 mark. Whenever the Ducks do this too, they'll have like a 60,000, 62,000 person game, like last year USC or a couple years ago USC or something like that. It was like that, and I'm like, there's only 58,000 seats.
Yeah.
Where the hell did everyone else go?
Where are they putting them, right?
Where are they putting them?
Yeah. But 111,015 is the most in a whiteout game in Penn State's history. So the most in 22 whiteout games. It is the second highest ever at in Happy Valley.
Nice.
So second highest attendance ever. Let's just that all being said, the game was a snoozer for almost a whole 2 quarters. Oregon and Penn State exchanged field goals. It was 3-3. Oregon went down and there was a fumble, or was it? For Noah Whittington, was he down? I mean,
yeah,
from the review, yeah, maybe his knee touched a blade of grass. I don't know. I can't really tell. Whatever they ruled it on the field probably should have stood, but they overturned it.
They overturned it from a fumble to what's it called? I definitely think he definitely touched the grass.
Right.
Whether or not he planted his knee into the turf, I guess is it turf? No, it's actual grass. Whether or not he planted his knee into the ground is a whole other story. However, I don't know that is a good prerequisite to set.
Right. I hear what you're saying.
Contact with, like, is the grass the ground, or is the ground there and the grass
underneath the
it?
grass? Right.
If so,
yeah, right.
why are we not playing on AstroTurf to eliminate?
Well, even that's got a little bit of fuzz, right?
It's got a little bit of fuzz, right? But it's a lot less. Like, why do we have anything that sticks up off the ground? Why is there any sort of variance? So I think that I don't know how you could, if it touches the grass, in my head, you say that's down.
And correct me if I'm wrong. It's one of those plays where if they had said it was a fumble and reviewed it and said it was a fumble, I'd have been okay with it. And the fact that
it was gone.
Yeah, I did too. And the fact that they reviewed it and said it was still Oregon's ball, I said, well, all right, that's a break, right? So it didn't matter.
My hat. I threw it on the ground after the first replay.
Agreed.
That's gone.
Yeah, because they had the ball at like the return went over midfield, right? They were.
Yeah, it was like a 40 or 30 or something.
They were gonna score on that. I think that was gonna be a drive where momentum had shifted, but I think that call hurt Penn State. Not that it mattered.
Not that it mattered.
Not that it mattered in the end, but I think it was a big deal. Oregon ends up scoring 2 touchdowns, taking a 17-3 lead. I think in the third quarter, right?
Yeah.
And then Penn State comes back and had one huge big play drive, like a 5-play drive that went like 80 yards, and they threw it in the end zone and scored a touchdown. But they end up tying the game 17-17. When they tied the game on the second touchdown, I was nervous. I was like, oh, come on. You're just giving the game away. Oregon stopped playing run defense all of a sudden, right? They had been so good at it. 69 yards for Penn State in the first half. 69 total yards in the first half. And you only had a 3-3 game, right?
It was
Yeah, because Oregon wasn't, hey, if Oregon had made the first field goal, right? When they went down and missed a field goal, this game doesn't go into overtime. But it would have changed everything. But anyway, long story short, 17-17. the game ends that way, right? We go to overtime, and then Penn State scores. Is that right? Yeah, Oregon won the toss. Penn State scores, right?
Right.
And they just ran it. They ran it. They were running the ball wherever they wanted to, which led. Well, I'll finish that in a minute. But they ran. They were running like they could just run over Oregon at that point. They score,
Right.
and then Oregon got kind of lucky on their play that scored a touchdown on that pitch, that shuffle pass, whatever you want to call it, up the middle.
Strange.
Was blocked. I mean, there was a lot of people there, and then all of a sudden it just opened up, and the game is tied. So it goes to 2 overtimes. The second overtime, which you have to go for 2, Oregon has the ball first. One play, right, and it's more to Gary Bryant,
Yeah.
and it's a touchdown, and it was 25-yard touchdown pass. It was a beautiful play by Moore. He evaded a tackler. He threw it sidearm to got the ball out. And it was a perfect pass. It was beautiful. That was
Looks good.
Yeah, it looked good. Anyway, long story short, then they throw they go for 2 because they have to, and they throw an interception, right?
Right.
And I'm like, what happens if they run this back? Right? Do they get 2 points? Right?
No, it doesn't count. No, they don't get it.
Not in overtime, I don't think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I'm like still worried about it because I see the guy running, and then who stopped him? Kenyon Sadiq.
Yeah. He
Whoa.
tracked him.
He is fast, by the way. He came up from behind fast. And again, he jumped over a guy. I got the picture on here. He jumped over a guy in the Big Ten championship game, right? The first touchdown was him jumping over a guy running into the end zone.
At this game, he hurdled somebody, and then he did it last year. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, Penn State, you guys need to wake up because he's gonna jump over you. Anyway, long story short,
we had Dorian Moore also hurdled somebody in this game.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what they're putting in their shoes. They got springs, man.
And then, so it's 30-24. They don't make the extra point. Penn State has the ball. And the very next play, Drew Aller drops back and throws it out to the right, and he didn't put enough air on it. And Dylan Thieneman intercepts the ball, and game over.
Oh, I don't even know that I'd say he didn't put enough air on it.
I don't think
he did. That was a rock. Well, I mean, of course you could throw it higher, but if it goes any higher, it's going towards the sideline.
I think.
It's either it's not going to be catchable at that point. It's going to be out of bounds and not catchable. So I think he put the perfect amount, but I just think Thieneman made a wild play.
He got up too to catch
airborne,
that. Yeah. I think it might have been a little underthrown. I think it was short of where it needed to go. Like he needed to throw it deeper downfield because the guy was already past Thieneman when Thieneman jumped up and caught the ball. So I feel like he needed to throw it deeper downfield. But it was just a bad pass, to be fair. I think it was not super bad, but it was just enough bad. And then game's over, and Oregon remains unbeaten. I mean, this is a huge game. They were telling us all week, right? They were telling us on Saturday morning on game day how hard it is to win a whiteout game. And what an environment it was. Desmond Howard, right, was the only ESPN analyst to say, hey, Oregon's going to win. Everybody else said, nah, it's Penn State. Too much home field advantage. They said, like, it's going to be equal. It's going to be a great game. Penn State's going to win because it's home and it's whiteout. Des said, nah, I don't think so. And he turned out to be right. This is a huge win for Oregon. By the way, Oregon is unbeaten in conference play against Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State. Just FYI, I'm gonna say that. I mean, we're only a part way through year 2, but still, right? Yeah, still. And they did play Ohio State at home. They did play Michigan on the road, right? So last year,
yes.
And then Penn State on the road. So 2 of those 3 games are on the road. They have a huge game coming up against Indiana next week. No, yeah, next week. Not this week, but it's next week. So the 11th, is that right? 2, 3, 4. Yeah, the 11th. It's on Saturday the 11th. That's the next Duck game. Is number 8 Indiana, and number 2 Oregon. Your thoughts about the game, just in general. The Fire Franklin chants, the the post game interview stuff. Did you see that? Where
I did.
Where they could only hear Oregon, in the fight song in the background. And him calling it a JV setup, he's not wrong. He's right. Yeah. Anyway, what are your thoughts on the game?
Well, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm never going to be mad about the Ducks doing well on the road. By the way, I just sent you a picture of Thienemann's pick, like in our little chat,
Yeah.
and you can see how fully extended he is. He's got no more room to go up. Like
Yeah.
he is fully vertical. His arms are at the top of the pads, and his legs are fully straight.
Yeah.
That is a hell of a play.
Yeah, it was a great play.
Yeah, it was wild. I was stressed the whole time because I don't like when our offense doesn't go. It stresses me out to rely on our defense because historically we've
Yep.
outscored people.
Yeah.
This even goes back to Cristobal years. So even going back like 6 years, I still didn't trust it then. I'm starting to trust it more and more. I'm starting to feel better about it, but I liked the ebb and the flow. I don't know why all of a sudden our defense was just like, oh yeah, we forgot how to play late in the fourth.
Yeah.
And let them score 2 touchdowns and come right back into this. But then they remembered how to play when it mattered.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We still run the ball extremely well. Dante Moore is unreal. He's unreal. Like, are
you buying into the fact that he's the Heisman front runner now?
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
So, all right, it's not. I mean, I don't know who they have on the list right now, but I know that Mateer
from Oklahoma
came off on it. He's coming off of it because he's sitting 3 games.
Oh, is he hurt?
Yeah, he's out for 3 games.
I didn't hear that. All right, good.
So if he's out, then I'm not sure who you're going to put. Are you going to put in the what's it called? The guy from. Oh my gosh, why am I struggling with this? The guy from Ohio State,
Jeremiah Smith.
They're off. Not Jeremiah Smith.
Oh, the quarterback.
They're not going to give it to a receiver. That doesn't matter. That's not.
It's been a while since they did that. Yeah.
All right.
Julian Sayin.
Julian Sayin. Yeah. Who has he played? What has he done?
Texas.
He played Texas, where he scored 14 points. More specifically, he threw, I think, 1 touchdown. I think they rushed for the other one. And then he played.
Yeah, nobody.
He didn't. He did that at home.
Washington. They went to Washington and won pretty easily.
And they put up a pretty. That's abysmal game. That's a game you should win by 40.
24. I don't know about that.
If you're that good of a team, like we all hail number one team.
Yeah,
you should be winning at a Washington team by 40. Yeah. Oregon, I expect Oregon to win by 40 this year at that game. You might the Ole Miss guy. What is his name? Chambliss, whatever his name is. He's got a pretty good. I kind of like him. Like he's got a pretty good thing. They're going to play more tough competition down the road. He's going to have a lot of opportunities to prove himself. And then the only other person I think that has a real good claim is the Indiana guy, and that's assuming they go undefeated.
What's his name? Mendoza.
But they have to play Oregon.
Yeah, they got to play at Oregon next week.
At Oregon.
Yeah, that's gonna be a rough game. I like that matchup too. I think we played Indiana last year? Is that right?
No, we did not play.
We did not play Indiana.
I think we played Illinois last year.
We did.
Is that right?
We did play Illinois. I know for sure.
No, but I know we did not play Indiana last year.
Okay. Well, that's Indiana has come a long ways, and you can say what you want about Indiana and Kurt Signetti. I think that they're pretty good. I don't. It's not a matter of, Northwestern or UCLA is winless, but I mean one of those teams. It's a that there's the top 3: Oregon, Ohio State, Penn State, right? And then Indiana is like the little brother.
Yeah.
Because that they're going to lose to somebody. But we can say the same for Penn State, right?
Right.
I feel like Indiana's every bit as good as Penn State, right, at this point. Because Penn State just can't 4-21 against top 10 under Franklin, right? 4-21.
There's no doubt that the Franklin chance makes sense. Like he can't win those games, and he's putting his faith in Drew Allard. I listened to some commentator say it the right way. He goes, "We were told that this Penn State team was better than last year. We were told that even though they lost a couple pieces, even though they lost Abdul Carter and a couple other people, they were taking a step forward because they were returning running backs, and they were returning quarterbacks, and they were returning other people. They were going to be better, and they're just the same." And it's because you have a quarterback who is not that great. Drew Allard is an okay quarterback. He's a fantastic runner. His decision making while running, I wish quarterbacks that we've had in the recent 10 years thought that way. But he does
Right.
not throw well. Like,
No.
I mean, there's a reason why they had 3 points through 3 quarters.
Yeah. Yeah, they got,
But
and they were lucky that, Oregon was soft run wise the second half because
yeah,
they wouldn't have come back in it just from throwing the football.
yeah,
Yeah. So I don't know. Have you seen? Do you know who Annie Agar is?
yeah. She does the NFL meetings.
She does. Yeah, she does the
Yeah.
Big Ten meetings. If you've seen them.
Oh yeah, I've seen them too. Yeah.
Yeah, the Big
I
Ten.
went for this because.
There was one at the beginning of the season, and I I encourage everyone to look her up and watch the Big Ten one from the beginning of the season. She has a Big Ten meeting, and she's talking about the upcoming season. And Penn State comes on, right? She does everybody, right? So she's doing the Penn State, and Penn State comes on and says, "This is our year, right? We got everybody at home. We got Oregon at home, right? We got Indiana at home, right? This is our year, right? Who's gonna stop us?" And then someone says, "Drew Aller." And I laughed so hard because he throws this interception at the end of this game, and I'm like, "Oh shit, it's true." It was like right on the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're predictably okay. I don't care that they throttled Villanova. Whoop dee doo. They're not a top 10 team in the country.
But to be fair, it's the same way you don't care about Oregon throttling Montana State, right?
When Oregon goes out there and
Nah.
whoops up on a non-conference team,
Right.
I toss it away. I say
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Right.
But people don't do that for Alabama's and for Ohio State's and things like that because people have this Homer syndrome or the blue blood syndrome where they want to give credit for things that don't matter. Penn State should beat the tar out of Villanova. They should beat the tar out of Old Dominion or Nevada. They played Nevada. They should beat the tar out of Nevada. I shouldn't even be having to think about it. I shouldn't have to turn on that game. And when I look at the score later, I go, yep, 60-10, just what I thought.
Right.
And that's all there is to it. You shouldn't have to think. Washington should have walked into, or not Washington, Ohio State should have walked into Washington and came out with a 25-plus point win. And they didn't. Oregon going to Penn State, that's a game where you go, okay, well, maybe they'll win this, maybe they won't. But Penn State's just who they are, and they're not getting any better. And they're going to start losing recruits because of this. Because this was Oregon coming to your house at your biggest showing.
Right.
And
it's a spectacle. I mean, it's a gigantic spectacle, right? The fireworks and the whiteout and the crowd noise. And
I hate that the players don't wear white.
Yeah, why aren't they wearing white?
It's just how how they've been doing it.
I mean,
I don't get it. Like whiteout means whiteout. Wear white. Where the players are wearing.
Right, and Oregon got to wear white, and I'm
Oregon
like,
got to wear white. Yeah,
that's not okay. What do you feel about the mummy duck stuff? The wrap.
It's cool, but it's kitschy. Like I didn't understand what they were trying to sell me exactly.
Either. Right,
but
because it's
just a thing.
Some of the cleats are supposed to be glow in the dark, but you're not going to see those.
Right, and then they sold a shirt publicly that had the mummy duck on it and was going. Again, it's cool, but it's like, I want them to bring back the battle duck.
Battle
with,
duck,
the angry eyes.
Yes,
yeah, that was really like the scar on its face.
I like
was dope.
The skull and crossbone flag. Right, I still can't find that. I want that.
They never used that.
I know, but they need to.
Yeah.
Right, I want that flag, and I just can't find it. Anyway.
So do you think that Oregon and Indiana is going to be game day next weekend? Because we have a bye week.
The problem is there's another game in the SEC.
But this will be 2 versus 8.
I get it.
Is that game bigger? Is it whatever game in the
but
SEC
this was game day. Penn State, Oregon. They're not going to do Oregon, Indiana, back to back weeks.
Oregon?
No, not going to do Big Ten back to back weeks.
It won't be back to back. There's a bye week.
Well, that's true.
And then Oregon plays.
That's
so
true.
We're talking about week 7. See what other contenders
maybe
there are 7, but I can see it because you could be Penn State could move up if somebody loses.
While you're looking at that, Dante Moore is 29 of 39, 248, 3 touchdowns. Dier Hill ran 10 carries, 82 yards. Right, that's 8.2 yards a carry, guys. Oregon ran for 176. Penn State ran for 139. Katron Allen was 12 carries, 54 yards. Nicholas
couldn't get anything going.
Singleton was 11 carries for 21 yards, 1.9 yards a carry. That's ridiculous. And then Drew Aller was 14 of 25, 137, 2 touchdowns. That one interception at the end was super important. And DeCorian Moore was amazing. 7 catches, 89 yards. He didn't score, but Gary Bryant is going to become the number one, right? He seemed like he was always available, always open
Mm.
during this game.
Well, I think it's because they were doubling
More,
Decory and Moore.
yeah. Well,
Decory and Moore had a small Heisman conversation over the last 2 weeks.
Sure.
So I think that they were like, we got to take this guy out of the picture. But little do they know, well, first they double Decory, and then they try and take away Kenyon Sadiq.
Right.
That's 3 of your 5 defensive backs right there, and you still got 3 more guys to worry about.
Yeah. I think Oregon has way too many weapons. Gary Bryant looked great in this game.
He did good.
Six catches, 55, and that one touchdown.
Timely catches.
Yeah, timely. Exactly. Super important big ones. Kenyon Sadiq
he did that one first down dig that was just past the first down marker. Like he was paying attention. He knew where to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bryant's nice.
And tell me how good Bryce Betcher is. 12.
He's always good.
12 tackles in this game, right? 12 tackles. Led the team by 7 over the next nearest guy. But Oregon got 2 sacks. Penn State got 1. There was so many players. I think Oregon is so deep. Their defense, their offense, everybody, right, is so deep that it makes it really hard because they can just plug another guy in. And that becomes a problem. Penn State's not nearly as deep. You can see it in the stats, right? That Penn State rushing, they got 4 guys. One of those is Drew Aller, right? Well, Oregon's got 6 guys rushing the football, right? Receiving, same way, right? There's an extra guy. There's an extra 2 guys for Oregon. The defense has 5 or 6 extra guys that played. Oregon plays a lot of players. There's just a lot of players, and so guys get rest, and they get, they play great. I don't know. I think it's good. This is a good win. I'm not, I would have loved for Sappington to hit that first field goal. That would have made me feel a lot better. But still,
it would have changed the trajectory of the game if he hits that. They probably would have started leaning on doing some stuff sooner. I don't know. It's hit or miss on whether I wanted them to do that.
Did you see?
I wanted to make everything, but
Penn State's punter is gigantic.
Yeah, big dude.
Yeah, Gabriel Nwosu. He's huge.
It's funny because when they first came out to punt, because I think they were kind of close to midfield or something like that, and I was yelling, "Watch the fake!" And then the camera, the wire cam peeled back and showed him that guy's not going anywhere.
He's not running.
He's not running.
He's not running. No.
He's gonna send it 30 yards down or 30 miles in the air, but he's not going.
He's a big guy.
Also, the other game that's in 2 weeks is Oklahoma, Texas.
That's the one. Red River.
That's the one. Also, that's an ABC game already.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and Oregon, Indiana is a CBS game. So, yeah, we probably won't get game day then, but only because they want to go to Texas so bad. That's 5-9 versus 2-8. Our game's technically better, but those are 2 better selling programs.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the rest of the Big Ten because we can. So Ohio State and Washington, right? Ohio State beats Washington, goes to Seattle. They win 24-6. It was not a great game by Ohio State. They didn't play great. Washington's pretty good. I mean, they got some players, but I think this was a classic. You're outmatched. Eventually, you just, Ohio State
caves eventually.
Yeah, eventually they just pulled away and win 24-6 is not an overwhelming win. It's a pretty good win though on the road.
And it was 14-6 at the end of 3.
Yeah, that's true.
So you can take what you want from that. They put an effort.
Yeah, and they win late. That's okay. But that's number 1 OSU. They're 4-0. Washington's 3-1 now with their first loss. But I still think Washington's going to be ranked at the end of the season when Oregon plays them. So I think that's coming. But we'll see it. We'll know more soon. Indiana, number 11, Indiana with a 2015 win at Iowa. Iowa's defense is always good. I mean, this is the same team that scored 60-something the week before against Illinois, right? But they win 20-15 at Iowa. Iowa's now 3-2. Indiana's now unbeaten, and of course, playing at Oregon next weekend. Illinois with that last-second field goal to beat USC 34-32, and
it was undefeated to this point.
Yeah, USC is now 4-1. Illinois is now 4-1, but with one gigantic loss. That's the problem with Illinois, right? That
The
loss
thing is, though, you have to be realistic about it. That's a fluke.
it
Like
might be.
when two good teams play each other, and I'm not talking about number 2 plays number 25. When like a 10 plays 15 and one team wins by 30 plus, like yeah, you got outcoached, yeah, you got outplayed, whatever, but like that's a fluke. That does not happen often.
Not
And it
often.
probably
Yeah, you're
won't
right.
happen again to this team the rest of the year. So I think that Indiana is worse than that performance against Illinois. And I think Illinois is better than that performance against Indiana. I think there's somewhere actually in the middle. It just kind of fell the way it fell and sucked.
Yeah,
But
it did, and it did suck for
it did suck.
if you're an Illinois fan.
Yeah.
Minnesota with 31-28 win over Rutgers. Minnesota's 3-1, Rutgers 3-2, and then of course UCLA is 0-4. Oof.
Yeah, but they just lost their coach and their starting quarterback. So
Yeah.
not that the starting quarterback was helping them, but they lost him.
Yeah. So now Northwestern 2-2, and of course we need Northwestern to win as many games as possible, right? So
Looks good, yeah.
yeah, it looks good on us.
Also,
So-
by the way, Washington has Maryland, Rutgers, but then they play at Michigan, then Illinois at home, then at Wisconsin before two no-show games, and then they play versus Oregon. So their final part of the season features four of their last 6 games are doozies.
Good.
So we'll know more about Washington when they get to us.
On the I don't have this pulled up. I should probably have pulled this up, and I haven't done it yet. I'm gonna do it right now. So on the national stage, gosh, I hate it when this thing starts where I don't want it to start. God dang it! Hang on, I gotta get there. Why my pictures are not doing what I want them to do. Okay. Anyway, so Florida State loses on the road to Virginia, 46-38.
What a wild game.
Yeah, this guy's celebrating. But
Did you see that guy fell, or the guy before him fell off?
I did not see that fall.
And let me tell you, it did not turn into a crowd surf. They moved.
He just fell and hit the ground.
He fell to the ground.
No-
Now, I'm sure
Well, he's-
alcohol carried him a long way out past that. But
Well, he's probably a good 5 feet above where they are, right?
well,
I
the
mean,
goalpost is 12 feet off the ground.
so 6 feet
crossbar?
maybe above. If you're 6 foot tall, he's 6 feet high.
Well, but that's assuming your feet are on the bottom of the goalpost to your head, and then you fell the rest of the way. But he fell standing with his feet on the goalpost.
Agreed.
He fell a full
This is-
12 to his back.
I mean, and then there's this picture which I absolutely love. Right
Oh,
when the ball,
they needed to get fined $500,000
at least for
Like-
what they trampled the freaking wide receiver.
They fined him $50,000 for what this was. And don't get me wrong, I like fans storming the field. I think it's part of college football.
Right.
I think it's part of the energy. It's what makes it great.
Yep.
However, if you are going to do it, there needs to be steep fines.
Agreed.
Like steep. Like you can't say 50 grand. You made that in television revenue this game. And this
Yeah.
receiver got absolutely mauled.
He did. You're not wrong. And let me just also say, I would not wear the overalls with no shirt underneath. I don't.
That's a college kid thing.
I know it is, but
weird
even when I was in
places.
college, I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's that. Also, so that was an early game. That was a Friday night.
Thursday or Friday.
Thursday,
yeah,
Friday,
something like
yeah.
that.
And then TCU traveled to Arizona State and lost 27-24. Number 24 TCU. Sam Levitt is good. He's a good quarterback. Arizona State may not be the best team you've ever seen, but he is a good quarterback. They're going to win some football games. We'll see how that.
Where was he at before?
Levitt?
Michigan State? He was at Michigan
Yeah,
State.
that sounds right.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I've seen here. Oh, he's from Portland.
Oh, nice. I didn't
He
know
went
that.
to He went to Westview.
Well, there you go. Perfect.
Oh, no kidding. This is kind of cool. Oh my gosh.
He's a homer now.
I might root for him.
I like Sam
Uh,
Levitt. The way he plays, he runs good. He throws the ball well. Arizona State's a threat, no matter
Yeah.
what. Yeah. So LSU lost to Ole Miss 24-19. Ole Miss I refer to as the Penn State of the SEC, only because they seem to always not win that game. This was a big win.
They did it this weekend, yeah.
Yeah, but they won at home. To be fair, It's a home win as opposed to going on the road and winning a game. It is a big win though for Ole Miss. They still have to play Alabama. That's coming. I get it. And there's the SEC seems to have 47 ranked teams for whatever reason. So some of these games,
and they also did against LSU, who I don't know if you guys remember, put up 17 points against one of the worst Clemson teams ever.
LSU has not scored more than 24 points this year.
Yeah, they. I don't. Well, no, that's not true. They scored 56 against Southeast Louisiana.
But
they haven't scored more than 24 against a Division I opponent.
There you go.
That's a good way to think about it.
There you go.
Yeah. So outside of blowing out one garbage team, but like, I don't think LSU's that good. They're just ranked high because they're LSU.
And Ole Miss's running game looked really good against LSU.
Did.
Yeah, they looked like they could run over them. That was a good game. It was a good game to watch anyway. Lane Kiffin has become, I think he's learned a little bit. He's become a little more glib, less verbose about things, right? He talks a little less when they interview him. It's more toned down, which is good, I think, because he was very outspoken. He's a very outspoken guy, and I think he talked a lot of trash before. I don't think he does it as much because I think he's been humbled a little bit by past experience. But Ole Miss is a good football team. Does not. I mean, LSU is a good team. Ole Miss with a good win. But they shouldn't have shot up the ranks like they did. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But that's what the SEC does.
Have you heard about Lane Kiffin's daughter?
Yes. Dating.
So she's dating Whit Weeks, who's the starting linebacker. Did you see him puking at this game?
I did not see him puking.
We're calling in a play, and he's the one who gets the plays. He gets the plays in and then conveys them. But as they're calling in a play, he's like trying to take out his mouth guard and pukes while holding it. Pukes the mouth guard out of his hand, and he tries to catch it, and it just falls to the ground. He goes, "Whatever," and just walks away.
Nah.
But yeah, I guess in the preseason, not the preseason, before leading up to this game, somebody on Twitter posted something about Lane Kiffin's daughter, blah blah blah, and he said take the over. Lane Kiffin said take the over on that. And then after the game, during the post game interview, he says, "I'm looking for Whit right now to see if we cover the over."
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, so it's a good win for Ole Miss. We'll see how that. I still feel like they're all going to beat up on each other, right? And so we don't know what we're going to get. Alabama and Georgia. So Alabama goes into Georgia and snaps a 33-game home winning streak for Georgia with a 24-21 win. And whatever you thought was wrong with Alabama after week 1 and the loss to Florida State, it's still, to be fair, it seems like a bad loss. I mean, you can say what you want about Florida State. They just lost to Virginia, right? They're not, like, in my opinion, a top 10 football team. They're not that team.
Alabama helped their case and hurt their case. And got their case hurt all at once.
At the same time, yeah. But Alabama with a huge win on the road. It's hard to win in Athens. So that's a good win. Texas A&M with a 16-10 win against Auburn. This is the number 9 team in the country. I know people think Auburn's pretty good, but you're the number 9 team in the country. This is a 3-2 now Auburn team, and it took a lot for Texas A&M to win this football game. I feel like this is the issue we have with the SEC is that people give credit. Oh, well, it's a tough game in the SEC, right? We're going to give them credit for beating Auburn. Auburn's gonna be 6-6 or 7-6 or 7-5 or whatever.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, they're not gonna be great.
And Auburn still got votes in the coaches poll.
I don't understand.
And it's like for
3-2. They're 3-2.
For what? Yeah. But also, like, I look over here and I see Notre Dame is 2-2.
Yeah.
And they're ahead of a 4-0 BYU team.
Yeah, Notre Dame.
How in the hell are you gonna have an undefeated team behind a team with 2 losses? If you want to convince me that Penn State's 1 loss to Oregon is better than BYU being undefeated, sure, I can probably find some logic in that. But you can't convince me that a 2-2 Notre Dame team is better than a 4-0 team. Like, I don't really care who it is. Like, you got to prove it on the paper.
I agree. Iowa State with a 39-14 win over Arizona. Tennessee with a 41-34 win over Mississippi State in overtime. That was a rough game to watch.
Yeah,
Yeah. I feel like Mississippi State had a chance to win that game. I mean,
they did.
a
They
fairly good
absolutely.
chance to win, and they blew it. Georgia Tech with a 30-29 win over Wake Forest. Georgia Tech keeps sneaking out wins. They're unbeaten.
Yeah.
Number 16 team in the country. Vandy with a 55-35 win over Utah State. Meh. Um, Mizzou with a 42-6 win over UMass. Meh. Notre Dame with a 56-13 win over Arkansas, who fired their coach and now has Bobby Petrino, who used to be the Arkansas coach, back at Arkansas.
Yeah, it's weird.
Which is where he dated.
Allegedly.
I mean, whatever, and went on a. Never mind. We'll talk about
Alle-
allegedly, but I mean, he got. Yeah, whatever. BYU with a 24-21 win over Colorado. Colorado's 2-3. Is that right?
yeah.
Or 3-2? I can't remember. Not great, but you didn't think they would be. And then, by the way, Houston with a 27-24 win over Oregon State. Oregon State is 0-5.
Yeah, they look really bad.
There are 20 undefeated teams left in Division One.
Woo!
FYI.
And oh wow, I was gonna say, and Oklahoma and Texas play in 2 weeks, but then one of those has a loss. So
Yeah, Oklahoma's. So if you want to know who they are, Oregon, Ohio State, Indiana, in the
Right.
Big Ten, Ole Miss, Missouri, Vanderbilt, Oklahoma, and Texas A&M in the SEC, Louisville, North Texas, Houston, Navy, Memphis, Georgia Tech, Miami, Iowa State, BYU, Texas Tech, Maryland, and UNLV.
Maryland's not ranked, despite the fact that
They're going to lose to everybody.
you think so, right? But they're 4-0.
4-0.
They're not ranked at all, and behind how many 1-loss and a 2-loss Notre Dame team?
Here's your trivia question for the day. You ready?
Okay.
There are 4 winless teams in the FBS. Only 4.
Winless.
Who are they? Yeah, there's only 4 at this point. I thought there'd be more than that at this point, but there's only 4. So we talked about 1,
Oregon State.
right? They're 0-5.
They're 0-5.
We talked about 2 officially.
Ooh, talked about another one.
Yeah, we did. We talked about
It was
another.
0-4. UCLA.
UCLA is 0-4. And then
UCLA is
there's 2 more.
Any
Any guesses? These are going to be hard because you don't follow winless teams.
Oh, are they lesser known teams?
Correct.
Give me a conference for one of them.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, best. Hey, you brought the question to me. You gotta have the.
I knew you were going to do that, and I was like, nah. So hang on. I don't even know what conference they're in, so that's
That's how little we know of them.
But they're clearly, I mean, I don't because everything's changed so much. That's part of the problem, right? All these conferences change all the time, and I don't know what conference they're in. Okay. So technically, they're in the MAC.
Both of them?
No, one of them's in the MAC.
Oh, okay. MAC. So that's the MAC is Western Michigan. Is Central Michigan in the MAC?
Yes, Western Michigan, Central Michigan, Eastern Michigan are all in the MAC.
Buffalo, Kent State, Akron. Yeah, okay. I'm kind of remembering some of these teams. I don't know. Let's go NIU.
So it's UMass.
Ow.
Yeah, which they don't seem like a MAC team, right?
But they don't seem like a big conference team either.
But they're 0-4, and the other one's in Conference USA. But I think this is their first year in Conference USA.
Their first year in Conference USA.
That's not true either. Now that I'm looking at this, that's not true either. They joined the conference July 1st, 2023. After 34 years in the Southland Conference.
Ooh, is that? No, it's not because they're not in there. They're not in the Mean Green. Mean Green's not in that conference.
No, but they're unbeaten. North Texas, Mean Greens are unbeaten.
All right, this team that's defeated, right? 0-4.
Yeah.
Who have they played anybody significant? Like any really big teams?
let's see. So yeah, they played Texas.
Oh, Sam Houston.
Sam Houston. There you go.
Yeah, okay, Sam Houston. Yeah, they
That-
just got throttled by Texas
Yeah,
yesterday.
that's all of them. That's all four winless teams, which
Okay.
seems like there'd be more at this point. We've only gone 4 or 5 games. You'd think there'd be more. But yeah,
I don't know. Everyone's got to play each other eventually.
20 unbeatens and 4 winless. Seems weird. All right. Anyway, let's talk about the NFL. Well, first of all, let's look at the. I don't have the right thing up. Of course, I don't.
The standings.
There you go. There's the top 25 rankings according to ESPN anyway, but this is from ESPN. The AP top 25. Oregon moved up to 2. 16 first place votes. They had 1 for the longest time. But
I don't know how you don't move them to 1. Only if we're basing this on
what they've done
what
so
have you
far.
done?
Yeah.
then
Agreed.
Why are they not 1?
This is-
But if you are trying to tell me that Ohio State is better,
I'm okay.
Oregon does have a tendency to
I'm okay
fall
with
to
that.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not mad. Like
I'm
that's
not
why I'm not
mad.
gonna have a bigger fight about it.
Yeah, I'm not mad about the rankings. What I am mad about is that people don't rank it based on. They always tell me it's what you've done so far. Okay, well then if what we've done so far, then Oregon is number 1.
Is beat the crap out of everyone we've played,
Right.
And then
And
win
one on the
Penn State
road.
wideout game.
Right, one on the
Yeah.
road in a whiteout game. Ohio State won at home against Texas.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Oregon's gone on the road twice now. Was it Northwestern and Penn State?
Yeah.
And at those games, it wasn't the biggest blowout versus Northwestern.
Right.
But neither was Washington or Ohio State at Washington.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe Washington and Northwestern, the purple teams are better than we thought. I don't know. Whatever. But then Oregon, that other big game was that we traveled to one of the probably top 5 college environments ever.
Agreed.
And did just fine.
Yeah. So and for whatever reason, why is the AP top 25 worth more than the coaches poll? Because that's the number they use when ESPN says, "Oh, it's number 6 versus number 3." They use the AP poll, not the coaches poll. Why is it worth more? Why is
Couldn't
that
tell you.
more valuable? I don't understand. But
somebody thinks it is. Not
somebody
us.
thinks it is. But anyway, Ole Miss jumped up 9 spots for beating an LSU team that I think and who dropped 9 spots. Like they swapped places.
At least there's consistency.
I don't feel like they're that good.
I agree.
Florida State dropped 10 spots. Probably deserved to, right? They were the biggest movers. Georgia dropped 7 spots. I don't know that Georgia dropping as much as Alabama. Alabama dropped a lot. Okay. You got to put Alabama, I guess, ahead of Georgia because they beat them, but Alabama also lost to Florida State. I mean, Georgia's loss is a good loss. Alabama's loss is a bad loss. Because in the end, I think
I reject this theory that you have to do anything. This is all fictional. It's all made up.
I
If
know.
you don't want to give somebody a ranking, just don't.
Yeah,
But we have to do it because it's what sells the next game.
agreed.
It's kind of crappy, but it is what it is. So
All
I
right.
don't know. But I do agree though. Like Alabama's loss is way worse than Georgia's.
Right.
And if they both have one loss,
Yeah.
and you have to reward Alabama somehow. Then they need to be 1A, 1B wherever they are.
Right. Yeah. I think that's right. Otherwise, and that made Indiana, who moved up 3 to number 8. So that makes the Oregon-Indiana game a gigantic game also, right? Oregon's going to have, if they win, they'll have wins over 2 top 10 teams at the time.
Huge.
Right?
Huge.
Yeah. They won't be top 10 teams. Indiana won't end in the top 10.
I think Penn State's going to lose to Ohio State later this year, and I think Indiana's got one more to drop at some point. So, yeah. But if you're Oregon, don't listen to me because you should not take them for granted because they can score points.
Agreed.
I think Indiana's defense is terrible, but their offense can score points.
And USC could still be ranked come the end of the year. USC's got to play Notre Dame.
Yeah, they do.
Right. And so one of those two teams.
For the love of God, give them a loss.
Notre Dame, you mean?
Yeah. I want Notre Dame to have another one because I want to see number 15th ranked 3-loss Notre Dame up there in the rankings.
Yeah, that's what they'll do too. They'll drop them to 25. Whatever.
Yeah, keep them right there, and so that way they can put a social media post that says
Another
5 consecutive years ranked.
Another loss by Notre Dame, and they have to be out of the playoff.
They have to be because
But
they're not even in the playoff.
But
discussion.
we don't believe that. You and I know we say it, but I don't believe that they're going to be out at 3 losses. I think
people will just ignore or make excuses for why it makes sense to have them up there, but it
Right.
doesn't. If they have 3 losses, they had 2 losses, they're barely 25, but probably
And-
out. At 3 losses, you're definitely out.
And if you haven't if you haven't looked at every week, and I think it's on Monday, they put out the current college football playoff. ESPN does top 12, right? And so a whole bunch of people vote on it, and that's great. And they currently have 5 SEC teams in the top 12.
Of course they do.
Come on.
Why wouldn't they?
You
right?
can't have 5 teams from that conference in that. You know that's not going to happen, right?
Well, not when they all still have to play each other, or a bunch
Well,
of them do. Yeah.
just in theory, you have 4 conference champions, right? A 5th conference champion who automatically gets in, right? There's only 7 other spots. One of those teams is going to be your SEC team. Okay. That means there's only 7 other spots, and you're saying 4 of those 7 are SEC teams? Come on, man. You know that Oregon, Ohio State, and Penn State are getting in. That's 3.
Penn State might not, because they're going to lose to Ohio State, and they'll
Maybe.
have 2 losses. Okay, they might.
They
but
might.
They'd be a very, they'd be a teens seed.
Or Indiana.
Indiana might, but does Indiana play Ohio State? I don't think they do, because I think they played them last year. So Indiana plays at Penn State in a couple weeks. Oh my gosh, that's another big
At
game.
Penn State, right? A huge
At
game.
Penn State, yeah. Let's have
But
a
the
second
rest of their
fight out
games
this
are
year.
winnable, right? Except Oregon, right? So
Michigan State, UCLA,
Yeah.
Maryland, who is undefeated, but we'll see by that point. Wisconsin at home, Purdue on the road. Yeah, they could easily go. I mean, they've only got 7 games left, but they could easily go,
10-2.
what would that be? 5-2 or 6-1 if they beat Penn State and lose to Oregon.
Assuming they go 10-2 and lose to Penn State and
Overall,
Oregon.
yeah.
10-2. That's still a pretty good record with 2 losses against teams in the top 10.
That should get you in, but but all that means is that every win you have is unranked Purdue, unranked Wisconsin, unranked Maryland, unranked UCLA, unranked Michigan State, unranked
Agreed.
Indiana State, unranked Kennesaw State, unranked Old Dominion. That's all you got.
Well, to be
I
fair,
guess they have Iowa in there. I think that's a pretty good win.
to be
personally.
fair, Penn State only has 3 ranked teams on their schedule, and they've already lost one.
They've already lost one.
And they got to play at Ohio State.
Yeah, they're gonna. Penn State could have 2 or 3 losses.
2
if they
or
have
3.
3, they're out. If they have 2, they're a late seed in.
Right. But anyway,
But the seeding is fixed this year.
and that's
so-
weird, right? That's going to be better or worse.
It's going to be better, but now if you're a really good team, you shouldn't be getting
and you shouldn't
the highest seed available anymore.
And you shouldn't get penalized for the conference championship game unless you lay an egg, right? So if Oregon and Ohio State go unbeaten, they're going to play in the conference championship game.
Yeah,
And-
they're still going to penalize them for it, though. There's so little sample size.
Well, it's funny because like I said, that ESPN poll that they do with the top 12, the current 12 in, Oregon's 1 or 2, worst case 4. I think somebody had them at 4, but Oregon's some people's opinion they're 1, but Ohio State and Oregon are both in the top 4 on almost
geez.
everybody's poll, and I'm like, whoa. So that's going to be, the loser of the Big Ten championship game is still going to could still be in the top 4 in the poll and get a bye. But I don't know if the bye is helpful. We learned that last year. Anyway.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? All right, let's go to the NFL. Are you ready?
Yeah.
We got a little time left.
Yeah.
There was this is just gonna scroll and it's gonna put up all kinds of stuff. But where do I have it? I have it over here. All right, so let's talk about that. So last week, week 4 in the NFL, Seahawks with 23-20 win over the Cardinals in Arizona. Seahawks are in first place. I mean,
Looking all right.
they're looking okay.
I will say they look better. After week 1, I was like, I'm kind of criticizing their offense a little bit. They still have a bit of a defense. They look okay.
They
look pretty good.
They gave a 14-point lead in this game, but 52-yard field goal to win by Jason Myers. Jackson Smith and Jigba is a great player, by the way. I just every time I watch him, I go, wow, that's a really good wide receiver.
He does have a knack for getting wide open.
Wide open. Agreed.
It's a special skill. But he's a slot player, which means I still think that I think he's a hit or 2 away from serious stuff. Like he's going to start pulling up on routes if he gets hit really hard. He has yet to take a big shot, like in his career. So, but his career's only been 2 years long, and now he's got Cooper Kupp drawing defenders off of him.
Right.
So he had DK drawing defenders off him. Now he's got Cooper Kupp drawing defenders off him because they use him in the slot and they use DK and Cooper at the 1.
Jackson Dart goes 13 of 20, 111 yards only, but 1 touchdown. He was sacked 5 times, but they found a way to win. The Giants beat the Chargers. Justin Herbert out there throwing it 41 times. And Omarion Hampton.
And the Chargers have lost last week or 2 instead.
Yeah.
Like
Omarion Hampton.
Did they do this?
I don't know. Omarion Hampton with 12 carries, 128 yards and a touchdown. He looked good. I was kind of surprised, and then Quentin Johnston had 8 catches for 98 yards and a touchdown, but Justin Herbert threw his 2 interceptions. Turnovers will kill you.
What's his name got into his. When your quarterback starts throwing picks, obviously you don't want to put him in a position to keep throwing picks. You don't want to keep challenging him. You want to start rebuilding their confidence, like reset and start rebuilding their confidence. But this coach, Jim Harbaugh, when your quarterback goes down a little bit, he kind of like recesses into, well, we're just going to run the ball.
Yeah.
I can't trust my quarterback today, so we're just going to run. So next thing you know, you'll do 2-3 drives, 90% runs, asking Justin to do miraculous things on 3rd and longs.
Yep.
And those are hard for anybody in the NFL.
Yeah.
So I think quarterbacks need a rhythm, and I think that they kind of blew Justin's after he, and admittedly he, put up a bad start. So I don't know.
Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers are 3-1 after a 24-21 win over the Vikings in Dublin. I'm not sold. The Steelers are great. It's only 4 games, but they're winning.
They're leading that division, and guess what?
Yeah.
All the other starting quarterbacks in that division are
hurt, right?
I thought Aaron Rodgers was a senior citizen with a cane and a chair and everything, and yet he's the only one still standing.
Michael Penix goes 20 of 26 for 313 and 2 touchdowns as the Falcons beat the Commanders 34-27. The Falcons are 2-2. They've managed to come back. The Commanders are hit and miss. Well, of course, Jaden Daniels is back, supposedly practicing now. So
nice.
That'll be helpful. The Bills with a 31-19 win over the 0-4 Saints. The Saints, could there be a worse team?
Could it be any worse?
Right? Josh Allen combines for 3 touchdowns. Josh Allen is right now the MVP. I don't think you could vote for anybody else. I don't.
Yeah, there's nobody else that's sticking out. I mean,
right.
you might
Jared
be
Goff.
able to. Jared Goff looks really good. If
Yeah.
you wanted to force an issue, you could say like Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Because his team is doing really well. But
Yeah.
again, you'd be forcing the issue of like, is he really doing that well? Is his yards that good? He's undefeated, but
Amon-Ra St. Brown, another guy I would take immediately on my football team. 7 catches, 70 yards, 2 touchdowns.
I like his energy.
Yeah, agreed. Lions win 34-10 over the Browns. The Browns are 1-3. Joe Flacco, 16 of 34 with 2 interceptions and 184 yards passing. Dylan Gabriel he threw 1 pass in this game. He got to play.
Pass.
Yeah, he got to throw 1 pass.
He's going to get more time, though, because they announced he's starting.
Yep, that's what I was going to say. Flacco was not doing the job, so how long did it take? 4 games. And then now we'll figure out if Dylan Gabriel's capable of running the offense, right? It's going to be interesting.
I think that you've got 2 quarterbacks, right? You've got Shedeur and you've got Dylan Gabriel. Clearly, you believe something about both of them because you kept them around.
Right.
Do not restrict the offense because you have a rookie.
Right.
Like, don't do that. Like, that's what's going to hamper production is if you go, well, I don't want to make it too difficult on him. Like, fuck that shit. He's a professional. He makes $5 million a year. Right. I want to see deep bombs. Damn it. And he'll appreciate that.
Yeah, right. The Patriots scored 42 points. It was the Panthers. Let's not get too excited. Yeah. But the Patriots scored 42 points. 42-13 win over the Panthers at Gillette Stadium. I don't know that anybody cares about either of those 2 teams. Panthers are 1-3. Patriots are 2-2. I don't think either one's going to be a factor in the whole thing when all is said and done. Did you watch the Eagles-Buccaneers game at all?
I did. I watched quite a bit of it.
That was a good game. The Buccaneers came back. they made it
Baker
interesting.
maybe still a scrappy underdog.
That stupid interception. He scrambled around for
Yeah.
like 6 hours and got free and then threw it right to a defender.
Right to a defender.
I was like, oh man, because he was doing so well. Bucky Irving continues to be a pretty good. I mean, that's a pretty good duck right there, right? 15 carries, 63 yards. He's their leading rusher. I mean,
He's not getting
he was
any
their
credit.
he was their leading receiver too, by the way. 5 catches, 102 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah. Check down city, baby.
Right? But I mean, Baker.
Your running back has 100 yards. That's check down.
Baker likes him.
Although he had 72
on one. I know. But still.
But still.
But it's still 4 catches for 30 yards, right? I mean, that's still 7.5 yards a
that's not
catch.
bad.
I mean, it's not terrible.
You take that, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, you're going to stay in the NFL a long time if you can catch 5 catches for 102.
Also, Tez Johnson had 13 yards in this game, total yards.
That's right.
Fun fact.
There we
Fun
go. Texans 26-0 over the Titans. The Titans might be as bad as the Saints.
I'll be honest with you, I did not see that coming. When we did our preseason predictions, I was like, they're resetting a lot of things. They could be they could be a problem. They're just not.
We're gonna have to throw these out, by the way.
Our predictions?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
No, because I think that we're still on track for our finals and things like that.
No, we're not. I mean, I have
Baltimore.
I have Baltimore winning the whole thing.
Well, you have to throw yours out.
You have Detroit and Buffalo. You might be right.
Wow,
in the Super Bowl.
Holy crap! It's like I'm doing all right.
I have Philly and Baltimore, so half of that's right. Maybe.
That's tough.
Yeah, I know, right? Jeez. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. But Rams with a win over the Colts. The Colts' first loss, right? The Rams find a way to beat the Tutu Atwell with an 88-yard touchdown catch, and the Rams win 27-20. The Rams are 3-1, also tied for the top. But everybody in the NFC West is tied for the lead. So there's that. I don't know. The Colts, I thought Colts have been really, really good. This loss notwithstanding, they're still a very good football team. This was a competitive game. They're surprising me. So, Jaguars with a 26-21 win over the Niners. The Niners are 3-1. The Rams are 3-1. The Seahawks are 3-1. Who knows how that's all going to work out, but, also San Francisco seems like they're banged up all the time. So this was the first loss, but Travis Etienne with 19 carries, 124 yards and a touchdown. In this one, the Jaguars are pretty good. I mean,
they seem not bad. I'm wondering what the hell's going on.
Right? Because that's not normal. Chiefs
because their team isn't that much different. So it's like, what changed?
No. Chiefs with a 37-20 win over the Ravens. I think that's honestly Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy being back stretches the other team because his speed. Yeah, there's no doubt. He doesn't have to score touchdowns. He just has to be out there to stretch the defense. Yeah. Side to side and down the field, because you can the threat of him running the ball on a sweep stretches your defense side to side. But anyway, Patrick Mahomes 25 of 37, 270 with 4 touchdowns. The Chiefs are 2-2. They're coming back, but also are the Bears 2-2 with a 25-24 win over the Raiders. With a block.
Say something really valid, then say something not valid.
Like, but
a
blocked field goal, and all of a sudden the Bears are 2-2. I mean, the Packers don't look great, right? 2-1-1. Yeah, the Lions look pretty good. I'll give you that. The Vikings, right? They're 2-2. So don't tell me that the Bears can't compete for this division lead, right?
Yeah.
They got to beat the Lions, and the Lions are pretty good, but and the Raiders are pretty bad. But Austin Genty finally goes off. 21 carries, 130 yards, and a touchdown, right? That's pretty good if you're asking me. Yeah.
Yes.
But that's what you expected from him. And then, of course, there's that Packers-Cowboys game. Boy, if you watched that on Sunday night, I was so excited that it was going to be Packers-Cowboys, and you knew it had to be because of Micah Parsons coming back, blah, 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 blah. I did not want to watch the Packers and the Cowboys, either one. I didn't want to watch either of those teams. But that's what we got. And George Pickens was great in this game for Dallas. He did get open, like wide open a couple times, but 8 catches, 134 and 2 touchdowns. It is good no matter what happens. But the Cowboys now 1-2-1 with a 40-40 tie. I haven't seen a tie in a long time.
It's been, I don't know if it's been that long.
It's been 3 or 4 years probably.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
I feel like there's like one a year.
It feels like it, but you forget them quickly. Why? Because they're not memorable.
Right. You just washed away. You're like, ah, that was garbage.
Yeah, if no one kicked a field goal to win it or threw a touchdown to win it, then you're like, meh. And then Monday night, of course, we had 2 games Monday night. The Dolphins with a 27-21 win, but how costly a win for the Dolphins when you're going to lose Tyreek Hill for the season.
Pretty costly, but
Pretty
also
costly.
It was his first game doing anything this year.
It's true, but I mean, now you might as well have just stayed without him.
It's true.
Yeah, but the Jets are 0-4 also. Could there be a worse team? No, I don't know. I mean, let's just say that the Jets, the Saints. I think the Jets are better than the Saints and the Titans. But
I feel comfortable with that statement. Yeah.
But they're also 0-4. So
they're also
yeah,
they're better, but also
better. Justin Fields is really good. One scramble looked really amazing, right? I mean, 20 of 27, 226 and a touchdown. He was not bad. He just wasn't
just not good.
Just not good. And then you had the Broncos-Bengals game. How did you feel? 28-3 Broncos. I felt like the Broncos were on the verge of being amazing, but not quite. Does that sound right?
Yeah. I felt like when they got up to 28 points, they fully took their foot off the gas. But it was still midway through the third.
Oh, I'm saying even earlier. Like they should have been beating Cincinnati by more.
I do agree with that statement, but the problem was people were dropping passes.
That's true.
So, like what I'm referring to when I say like, oh, they should be doing better, I'm thinking like total scheme wise.
Oh.
Like they were trying to be better. People were just fucking up.
Yeah.
But people were dropping passes. Bo Nix overthrew one guy. I mean, I think there were 3 rollouts that I watched, and there's this really guy. His name is Chris Williams. He does these YouTube videos where he breaks down significant plays. By a lot of quarterbacks, but he mostly does like young quarterbacks. And he did Bo Nix for this one. And yeah, there's a lot of plays where it's just a receiver drop.
Yeah.
A bootleg that a receiver dropped that should have been a first down, that would have been a first down in plus territory, and all these little things. But scheme wise, what I was disappointed is that once we got up to 28, we went super conservative.
Yeah.
Everything we did went really basic. And I started thinking they started to put together a drive, quote unquote.
That's your boy Sean.
And then they just, I know, right?
Yeah.
Play calling wizard. And then it kind of fell apart. But when they started to put together a drive, my brain was like, oh crap, if we're going to be conservative and have to restart our engine, that gives them time to catch up. Didn't happen. Jake Browning's, doo-doo. He's nothing.
And the Denver defense is good. So, I mean, there's that you got to compete with. But Bo Nix, 29 of 42, 326, 2 touchdowns. He did have the 1 interception. He did run for a touchdown. And then Marvin Mims had that 1 sweep for a touchdown. Was pretty amazing. I thought he was going to go out of bounds. But J.K. Dobbins becomes the first player to rush for 100 yards since Sean Payton's been there.
Right? I think it's even since before
that. It's been like 4 years.
It's been like 6, I thought.
Has it been that long? Yeah.
I think it's been a long time. The Broncos haven't had a really, really good.
They ran for 186 as a team. That's amazing. 512 yards of offense between the passing and the rushing. That's pretty damn good.
To have one drive that went 80 yards in and a pick, and then so we should have. If we would have been in the 30s, I would have felt really good about our total production across the board. But I hate that we took our foot off the gas pedal. I didn't like a couple of the mistakes.
Can we agree that Troy Franklin, he's got to catch the football?
That's the thing. He dropped 2 in this game. One on a crossing route and one on a deep route that
would have been.
It was a touch underthrown.
Yeah.
But it would have been not 60. It would have been like a 40-yard gain.
Yeah.
And he just let it go straight to his chest and then to the ground.
Oh, he had a couple of really bad drops, and I just
really bad. That's one of the things this guy emphasizes, that like you got to catch those balls.
Well, Cortland Sutton's amazing. I think him and Bo Nix seem to have a thing. Right,
they're figuring it out.
They're on it.
Is.
Yeah, exactly. So they're getting together. I mean, Cortland Sutton, 5 catches, 81 yards, 16.2 per catch is a pretty good average. Cincinnati was terrible. They had 53 yards rushing.
Awful.
Jamar Chase had 5 catches for 23 yards, 4.6 yards a catch.
Being fair, Jamar Chase only has I think it's like 54 yards against Pat Surtain in 3 games.
Yeah. But
so this is the most he's ever had.
And it is
And
Jake
it
Browning.
still wasn't anything.
Jake Browning trying to get him the football, right? Jake Browning did not turn the ball over. He didn't throw an interception, but he also didn't throw a touchdown. 14 of 25 for 125 yards. They're just missing, Joe Burrow. It is what it is, and you can't really.
The problem is that people correlate A to B, so it's like, oh, well, the Broncos kicked their butts, and it's like, yeah, but they didn't have Joe Burrow, and it's like, how does that affect the points?
It didn't.
Like we're scoring points, like we throttled their defense.
No,
Joe Burrow doesn't play defense. That
it's
doesn't
just
matter
the
for
offense.
us. Yeah, it's just the offense, and they are like. I've said that Joe Burrow was going to do this thing, and I've said it for years, that he went to the Super Bowl in year 1. And since then, he's done nothing but, well, I guess year 2, technically, because he injured himself in year 1. In his first full year, he went to the Super Bowl, and he's done nothing but trend downwards since.
And by the way, Bo Nix had 6 carries for 7 yards, 6 yards on the 1 carry. That's a great stat line right there.
He's been. That means he got sacked a couple times. They have got to restat sacks.
Agreed.
They do not. They need be a carry.
Thursday on Prime Video at 5:15. Niners Rams for also first place, right, in the division. Sunday you got Commanders Chargers, which is it depends on if Jaden Daniels is back, but you could have had 2 Ducks again playing against each other. I don't know if that's going to happen. Chargers now need a win. I mean, it's sad to say at 3-1 in week 5, you need a win, but you need a win because the Chiefs, if they've got Xavier Worthy back, they're going to be good. I mean, their offense is going to get normal. The Browns, and of course, a start for Dylan Gabriel. We'll see. They play the Vikings. That's on NFL Network or NFL Plus, 6:30 a.m. They're playing in London, by the way, this weekend against the Vikings. What else is exciting in terms of Broncos-Eagles, right?
Yeah.
Playing in Philly, 10 a.m. game.
Yeah.
Agreed. The Texans and the Ravens are playing at 10 a.m. on CBS.
Oh, that's a tough game.
I know, right? One of those teams is going to be 1-4, who was a playoff team last year. I just find that hard to believe. Buccaneers-Seahawks might be the best game of the day.
Might be, yeah.
Yeah, at 1 o'clock at CBS. Patriots-Bills is the late game if you like red, white, and blue.
You're going to get plenty of it.
You're going to get plenty. Yeah. And then the Chiefs-Jaguars is the Monday night game, and that might be good too. We'll have to see how good the Jaguars are playing at home.
I don't like the Chiefs in primetime because flags tend to go their way in primetime.
Well, we'll see. See how it goes.
I just don't typically like it.
Agreed.
Darn.
Agreed. I'm with you. All right. We got anything else? Anything else you want to talk about?
Nothing that's coming to mind.
Before we go? All right. Yeah. I think that's about it. So I don't really have much else. Let's call it good. This has been a Brain Rock production, a division of Lonely Tree Media. We want to thank ESPN, CBS, NBC, Fox Sports, and anybody else that we've forgotten at this point. Formula One, by the way, on Sunday at 4:54 in the morning from Singapore. If you want to watch it, the qualifying is Saturday at 5:54. So anyway, we want to thank everybody for listening, and we'll see you next week.